Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Pete Hollings. I'm the director of our Center of Excellence for Sustainable Mining and Exploration here at Lakehead. I'm the chair of the Geology Department, and I'm the new NOHFC Industrial Research Chair in Mineral Exploration. Many titles. I think, like all of you, I would have much preferred to be speaking to you in the basement of the Intercontinental right now over one of their great breakfasts where we could network, catch up, see how everybody's doing. We can't this year. Hopefully we're back there again next year. But in the meantime, it's really great to be able to share some exciting news with you using this Zoom format. I'm going to be your MC this morning during this virtual gathering of what is our 10th annual PDAC event, which is pretty amazing for me that we've been doing this for 10 years. Couple of housekeeping things before we start. This webinar is being recorded. Your audio and video are automatically disabled by default, and at no time will your video or your computer screen be accessible by the moderator, presenter, or others taking part. We couldn't have done this today without the amazing help of Lakehead's Technology Services Center. Thanks to them for their incredible efforts in getting this running, especially with all the challenges we've had lately with computers at Lakehead. We will be hosting a panel session at the end of this meeting with the representatives of our company partners. If at any time you have questions or you think of questions either throughout the presentation or at the end, please just post them in the chat and we'll get through as many as we can. As we begin the presentation, I would like to acknowledge the original custodians of this land and pay my respect to the elders past, present and future. For they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture, and the hopes of the Indigenous people. I would also like to recognise that our Thunder Bay and Aurelia campuses are on the traditional lands of some of this country's Indigenous peoples. In Thunder Bay, Lakehead University resides on the traditional lands of Fort William First Nation, signatory to the Robinson Superior Treaty of 1850. In Aurelia, the university resides on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe people and of the Rama First Nation. We also acknowledge the history that many First Nations hold in these areas and look forward to respectful relations with the First Nations, the Métis, and the Inuit in the spirit of reconciliation. I would now like to introduce Elder Trish, Monique, who is bringing us a special blessing to start our morning.
Wawena Bojo, Kinawea. Hello, everybody. I'm so pleased to be here again. My name is Trish Monique, and I'm here on behalf of the university to offer prayers and blessings for your next event. And I'm so excited to hear again to be a part of the university in this way. My name is Gishgondokwe, that means cedar woman. And I'm going to offer the blessings in the way that I've been taught and in my own language. But because we understand that we've been taught that we all come from the same place, but we all have our own identification and our own ways that we acknowledge our higher power, please add your prayers and your blessings as I'm offering them as well. Wawena Bojo, Nindawe Monadok. Kishkondo Quendish cause wap shishing do dem and chimising dojaba. Buruwadami Ojabway Nishnabe Quendao, Nijo de Made Quendao, and Dapna Sema, Wabanang, Jaunang, Giwe Nang, Akikwe Mashoma Sananik, Nokama Sanan, Gaje Menado. I ask that you go kindly upon us today as we gather and as we prepare to discuss all of these new things that are going on at the university creator. We ask that you look kindly upon us as a people, not so much one campus, but all of us as a whole, all of the partners, everybody that's gathered together to put their minds and their hearts together as they lead into the discussion. I also ask that everybody look kindly as we look out into our true Mother Earth, as she prepares everything for us. She's the one who prepares the water. She's the one who keeps the grounds clean and keeps our trees and our flowers and our plants, and also our animal life healthy, wealthy. I also ask that you look kindly upon those that may not have been able to attend today, all those that are struggling in one way or the other through mental health and addictions. I ask that you kindly look on those ones that have no water or food to eat or drink. I also ask that you kindly to look at our people in faraway places that may not have access to comfort or support, or let them know that they're being thought of and that we're sending our blessings out to them. Also, to our people that are in institutions, um, let us send our prayers their way and let them know that they're loved and they're thought of. I ask that with kindness and care that we think of each other, not just ourselves, but not just our families, not just our communities, but also as globally, as people, spirit human beings that share this earth. Ask that you look kindly upon us as we bring together all of those good thoughts, all of those good prayers and that good energy as we take our steps forward, as we talk about this, that opening our mother and looking inside of her and asking for blessings to bring forth support for all of us. I ask you with kindness and care and blessings to think of everybody. Again, I say miigwech for this opportunity. Ajuem nishnang gajem nado, ajuem nishnang gajem nado, ajuem nishnang gajem nado, ajuem nishnang gajem nado, ni kanigara. At the end of the prayer, I have asked for God, Creator, to look kindly upon us and pity us as we try to carefully bring together different groups, different peoples in the same mind and in the same heart and the same feeling. It's difficult times today. These are not usual times. We are living under very difficult, strenuous, confusing times right now. And every time that we stop and we give Creator God, and ask for an ear or some sort, we always need to remember that we now have to think globally, not just our own communities. And so I'm so grateful again for being given this opportunity. Say miigwech to Diane and Jasmine for always being open and ready for me to come in and offer these words. On behalf of my family, thank you and miigwech for all that you do.
Thank you, Elder Trish, for that blessing and for setting us up for such a great session this morning. I really appreciate it. It's now my great pleasure to introduce my boss, our President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Myron Mcpherson.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hollings, and thank you, Elder Trish, for your blessing and for helping us to begin our event today in a good way. Good morning, Bonjour. I'd like to begin by welcoming you all to Lakehead University's 10th annual PDAC gathering. Today's event has been made possible by our sponsors, the Thunder Bay Community Economic Development Commission and the Alumni Association of Lakehead University. A special welcome today to our past and present members of the Lakehead University Board of Governors, and welcome to our Member of Provincial Parliament, Mrs. Judith Monteith-Farrell, MPP for Thunder Bay Atikokan. Welcome to our special guests and dignitaries, including representatives from the Ministry of Energy, Northern Development and Mines, and representatives from the Prospectors and Developers Association of Canada. I believe that we have our mayors of Thunder Bay and Orillia here today, and I say welcome to you, Your Worship, Bill Morrow and Steve Clark. And of course, a very special welcome to Chief Peter Collins of First William First Nation and to all of our Indigenous partners that have joined. Another welcome I'd like to make is to our industry partners, those representing the mining sector, supporters and friends of Lakehead University, as well as each of our guest speakers this morning. I know that we also have a number of folks that are joining us from around the world, from as far away as Colombia, Peru, and Israel. And last but not least, a warm welcome to our Lakehead University students, faculty, staff, and alumni to this year's virtual PDAC gathering. Each year, Lakehead University looks forward to PDAC, the world's premier exploration and mining conference, and this year is no exception. Even in this new virtual world, Lakehead continues to engage with multiple external partners on projects that demonstrate the vitality and relevance of our research programs and the local, national, and global impacts. High impact research at Lakehead is a result of the dedication of our researchers and partners, including communities, industry, and government. We are deeply grateful for this collaborative support and are pleased to continue our conversation with you on partnering towards discovery while highlighting specific partnerships with Impala Canada, Clean Air Metals, and Wisdom Gold Mines. Before I turn the agenda back to Pete, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize and congratulate one of our own Lakehead University alumni who will be receiving a prestigious award from the PDAC organization. This will be the second year in a row that a member of Lakehead's community is honored for their work in the mining industry. The Bill Dennis Award recognizes industry leaders who have made a significant mineral discovery or made important contributions to the prospecting and exploration industry. I would like to commend and congratulate Phil Walford on the recognition he is receiving for the discovery of the largest undeveloped gold resource in Atlantic Canada. Congratulations, Phil. I now welcome back our MC, Dr. Pete Hollings. Thank you, everybody. Miigwech.
Thank you, Moira. It's always great to have you join us at these events, and hopefully we'll be able to, again, do it in Toronto next year. We wouldn't be able to host this presentation without the assistance of some of our sponsors. And one I'd particularly like to thank is the Thunder Bay Community Economic Development Commission. They've been a long-time sponsor of PDAC activities for us. We share a booth with them when we're there in present, so they're always a great people to work with. And I'd like to welcome their CEO, Mr. Eric Zakruski, who, funnily enough, sponsored our first ever geology alumni event back at the Raptors game many years ago. And Dr. John Mason, who is the project manager of mining services with the City of Thunder Bay and the chair of my advisory board. So another one of my many bosses. Both of them are here with us today, and we're very happy to be working with you again this year as we continue on this journey of partnering towards discovery. Over to you guys.
Welcome and good morning. I'm Eric Zakruski, Chief Executive Officer of the Thunder Bay Community Economic Development Commission. We are proud to be one of today's event sponsors in partnering towards discovery. This morning, you're going to hear some fantastic speakers from Impala Canada, Clean Air Metals, and Wesdome. And these companies are shining examples of how to develop our resources in a sustainable, responsible manner while creating meaningful partnerships in the communities that they work in. Even though we're physically miles apart during today's event in these strange times, it reminds me that we are still truly better together. With that, I'd like to welcome you to the event. Hope that you have a fantastic day, and turn things over to my colleague, Mr. John Mason, our Mining Services Project Manager.
Thanks, Eric. My name is John Mason. I'm Project Manager of Mining Services with the Thunder Bay Community Economic Development Commission. I'm also a proud alumnus of Lakehead University. It's tremendous we can meet today virtually and talk and discuss and reflect on a strong mining sector at this particular point. As a community partner, I chair Lakehead University's advisory board for their Center of Excellence in Sustainable Mining. At the CDC, we're very pleased in recent weeks to release the mining readiness strategy on the back of the producing mines and advanced exploration projects in Northwestern Ontario. We're now implementing results from that study, and we see this as a great template going forward that'll benefit Thunder Bay, the region, and provide needs for the mining and exploration sector. Lakehead University was a key participant in the study, and benefits we see flowing back to Lakehead include the opportunity for research on mineral deposit studies, mineral processing, as well as providing a home for their graduates, career development in engineering, in geology, and in business development, to name three. We look forward to the presentations today, and thank you.
Thank you, Eric and John. We certainly appreciate your sponsorship. As long as we've been doing this, we've had another great sponsor as well, and that's been the Lakehead University Alumni Association. And it's my pleasure to introduce their president, Karen Bos.
Good morning. It's a pleasure for me to bring greetings on behalf of the Alumni Association and our entire board of directors. It's lovely to see such a great turnout so early on a Monday morning. I imagine your commute was a little shorter today. Welcome and thank you for coming out to our 10th annual PDAC Alumni and Friends Gathering. Like our university tagline, this is a little unconventional, and I wish I could see you in person at the Intercontinental, but I feel the energy across the airwaves. While we are not enjoying a lovely breakfast together, I'm happy to say that the Alumni Association is still a sponsor of the event, and we are thrilled with the success and accomplishments of our alumni in the mining and resources sectors. I wanted to share briefly some information about the Alumni Association, who is quite active through our chapter in the Greater Toronto Area. We provide opportunities for our alumni to engage, celebrate, and share with each other and with students through chapter events all over the GTA, through volunteering at the annual Ontario Universities Fair, and through mentoring and meaningful conversations. Of course, these events are happening differently, and we are pleased to say our virtual attendance has been great. So thank you for your continued support. The Alumni Association Annual Awards Program is accepting nominations until March 31st. Awards will be presented at homecoming, and we're still working out the logistics. We had a wonderful Lakehead Celebrates virtual event in October 2020. You can find the recording for Lakehead Celebrates and other alumni speaker events online at alumni.lakeheadu.ca. To our alumni, thank you for being Lakehead for Life. To our friends online, it's never too late to start your own Lakehead for Life journey. Please feel free to connect with me or our GTA chapter president, Jocelyn Poirier, who is also with us this morning. You can also find us online at alumni.lakeheadu.ca. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks, Karen. We certainly appreciate your continued support as we go through these troubling times. I'm lucky enough to get a few minutes at every one of these sessions to tell you about what's happening with SESME, what's happening with the geology department, and I'd like to do that for you now. It's certainly been a really challenging year for the department. COVID, the restrictions that's placed on teaching has made things really difficult, but I'm really proud of my colleagues in the department, and with the support of the senior administration at Lakehead, we were one of only 2 universities in Canada to teach a face-to-face field school in this fall, and we've continued to teach face-to-face labs all year. So I think it's not an ideal experience for our students, but we've done really well thanks to the support we've had to make it as normal experience as possible. Train the great geologists we continue to train. In other department news, Dr. Mary Louise Hill has announced that she will be retiring this year. This is going to be a phased retirement, so she'll be gradually reducing her teaching load over the next couple of years, still maintaining an active role in the department. So we're really pleased about that she's going to continue to engage with us and work with our students. We've just completed the search process for a new structural geologist, and hopefully we'll have an announcement soon as to who we're going to be hiring. So again, that's also really great news. SESME is doing pretty well. John is chairing what is now a fully staffed advisory board who will be constantly pushing us to explore new research directions, and I think you're going to see some great examples of that later this morning. I'd like to thank my advisory board, Sue Craig, Jim Franklin, Glenn Nolan, Gord Maxwell, Scott Joban Bevins, and Nadine Kara for all their hard work as we've been pushing forward to implement the strategic plan that we released last year. I think we're going to see some really interesting things coming out of these new research directions in the next little while. For the last couple of years, I've told you about our Indigenous certificate in geological studies that we've been developing through SESME. We've recently partnered with Denise Baxter, the Vice Provost of Indigenous Initiatives, and we've rebranded that project the ASCEN certificate in geological studies. ASCEN is the Ojibwe word for rock. We've pushed things pretty hard, and I'm hoping we're going to start offering some of those courses in the fall. So again, that's a really big step forward in terms of increasing the accessibility of the geosciences to a broader community. So I think we're doing pretty good. We couldn't do this without your support and the fact that you've supported our students. You'll see in the impact report that will be sent to you along with a link to the recording of this session, that thanks to your generous support, we have a number of scholarships that we are helping our students with their activities, their research, their different things. And again, your support makes all this work for us, so thank you. I'm really pleased. I think SESME is developing as a hub for a diverse range of mining-focused research activities. And what we're going to do now is share some of those ongoing projects with you today. We're going to start with Wesdome, and I'm really pleased to introduce one of our key speakers this morning, Michael Michaud, who is the Vice President Exploration for Wesdome, and their presentation about working with Lakehead.
Hello, I'm Duncan Middlemas, the President and CEO of Wesdome Gold Mines. Wesdome has been producing gold in Canada for over 30 years now. As a 100% Canadian-focused company, we are committed to achieving results and actively engaging with our employees and stakeholders. These efforts have resulted in the inclusion for 2 consecutive years in the TMX 30 program, which is a recognition program that showcases the TSX's 30 top performing stocks based on a dividend-adjusted share price. At the Eagle River Complex in Wawa, Ontario, our cornerstone producing asset, profitability has steadily increased over the past few years as increasing gold production through great exploration success. This has enabled us to improve our employee facilities in the camp, such as the addition of a new gym, kitchen, and recreation room. At the Kena Complex in Val-d'Or, Quebec, we have had very exciting few years with advanced exploration, very successful high-grade exploration intercepts. We're now in the final stages of determining our mine reopening plan, which will bring over 200 new jobs to that community. Finally, our Moss Lake asset, right here in the Thunder Bay community, has recently been sold to Gold Shore Resources, a startup company also focused exclusively in Canada and headed by an experienced management and board. Wesdome retains a large ownership in this company, as well as 2 members of our management team serving on the board. So we are very much looking forward to this asset advancing as well.
Our Eagle River mine has been in production for 25 years. Obviously, when the mine started, they didn't have all of those ounces outlined. But over the years, through dedication and good exploration, they've been able to find more ounces to keep the mine running. However, those easy ounces have in mind. Now it's going to require better science and better technology to help find the next ounces. This is why we've partnered with Lakehead University. It's this science and this expertise that we want to garner to help us find the ounces for the next 25 years of production.
Hi, I'm Nathan Forzlund, Project Geologist at Wesdome Gold Mines. When I was a student at Lakehead, I fell in love with science. To me, there was always a certain beauty in the idea that the patterns we see in nature can lead to predictions about the hidden nature of reality. And I feel so lucky that as an exploration geologist, I get to apply those same principles to my day-to-day work. I'll collect data and look for trends, and then I'll make some predictions about the underlying rocks and test them with diamond drilling. And sometimes we fail, but science teaches us to endure, because underlying each failure is always a lesson to be learned. So we get back on the horse and we ride on, we form new ideas and we test them again. And with enough perseverance, the wins start to outnumber the losses. Science teaches us to think critically and to persevere. So just remember, never stop asking questions and know that there's a lesson to be learned in almost every endeavor.
Thanks, Mike, and everyone at Wesdon. We're certainly looking forward to be working with you in the coming years and the partnerships that we're going to develop. One of our other partnerships is another really exciting one with a local Thunder Bay company, and I'm really pleased to introduce Clean Air Metals, their CEO, Abraham Drost, and to tell us about some of the work they're doing with Lakehead. But before that, yeah, let's just go there.
An experienced senior management team headed by Jim Gallagher, Executive Chairman, Mining Engineer, and former CEO at North American Palladium, and Abraham Drost, CEO and Geologist, leads a talented team of mineral exploration and mine development professionals. Clean Air Metals is very pleased to support a previously announced multi-year research collaboration with the Geology Department of Lakehead University, with support from the National Science and Engineering Research Council and Memorial University. The study's focus is the relationship of mineralizing systems such as those at the Thunder Bay North Project, with the ancient mid-continent rift structure underpinning the Lake Superior Basin. Clean Air Metals CEO Abraham Drost explains.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks to the committee for the invitation to address the annual, now virtual, Lakehead University Geology PDAC breakfast. I have my coffee standing by. I know from past experience live that it's always a great event. Clean Air Metals is a full-on participant at the 2021 PDAC conference. Two of our rising stars on the Clean Air team are Lakehead Geology graduates Dana Campbell and Ethan Beardy. Dana and Ethan are also here to bring greetings to the occasion and share a few reflections on their LU experience. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dana Campbell, and I'm a junior geologist / database geologist at Clean Air Metals. I'm a recent graduate, and I have an undergrad and a master's degree in geology from Lakehead University that I finished in 2020. Lakehead helped me prepare for a career with Clean Air Metals by giving me hands-on practical experience and by providing me with a strong foundation in the core concepts of geology. From mapping to core logging, I use the skills that I learned at Lakehead every day here at Clean Air Metals.
I'm Ethan Beardy, and I'm currently a project geologist at Clean Air Metals. I graduated from Lakehead University in 2018 with my honors Bachelor of Science degree in geology. Since then, I've worked all over Northern Ontario and the Yukon. At Lakehead University, I've learned the fundamentals of geology, and I've been able to use these skills in the industry. Going to Lakehead has created many connections with both academic and industry geologists. Having a great network has helped me to get where I am today.
I'm Jim Gallagher, the Executive Chairman of Clean Air Metals. As someone who has spent the last several years of his career in the Thunder Bay area, I can certainly confirm the comments of the team. Geology is what starts it and continuously optimizes as an indication, becomes a discovery, becomes a mine. I can say without question that Thunder Bay does have the right resources. That's the people resources, and that's the mineral resources to continue to grow as one of Canada's great mining areas. Hope you have a great session today, and thank you very much.
Clean Air Metals, symbol AIR on the TSX Venture Exchange, is a well-funded junior mining company headquartered in Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Thanks, Abraham and the Clean Air team. I know we're really excited to be partnering with Clean Air in the upcoming project. And for the next 3 years, I know that Matt, Connor, Khalid, the students working on the project are really looking forward to getting into the field this summer and getting into those rocks. It's now my pleasure to introduce my VP Research and Innovation, Andy Dean, who will be introducing our partnership with Impala.
Thank you very much, Pete. It's now my pleasure to introduce our next presenter, Impala Canada. You'll hear how Impala has been a great partner with Lakehead University, and in particular, with the Department of Geology on projects which range from discovery-based research to human resource management to opportunities for exciting real-life experiences for students of all ages. Partnership development is extremely important to Lakehead University's research and innovation enterprise. Governments at all levels look for research at universities to be transferable and to make an impact on the economic prosperity and productivity of our nation. Such partnerships enable us to leverage the expertise at the university with the people and the attributes that exist in companies such as Impala. Innovation, partnerships, and economic developments are strategic goals of Lakehead University, and our strong relationship with Impala illustrates how not only working relationships, but also personal relationships go a long way to making these partnerships truly beneficial for both sides. Once again, Impala, thank you for all you've done in partnership with Lakehead University. I now welcome everyone to hear from representatives from Impala Canada.
Good morning. Thank you, everybody, and thank you to Lakehead for including Impala Canada in today's presentation. We're thrilled to be here. Our relationship with Lakehead goes back a number of years, and what we're seeing is every single year it gets a little bit more integrated and diverse and interesting, and that's what we love. We love that we have sponsored events, we have sponsored programs, we've sponsored areas within classrooms, and all of this diversity of approach really adds value, we believe, to Lakehead, but really it adds value to our business and our people as well. So we wanted to take a few minutes today to share with you some examples of how we work closely with Lakehead University.
Brian Wilson, our general manager, put me in touch with Michael Dohan, a professor at Lakehead University earlier in the year, and they were looking for an industry sponsor to participate in their business process management and integration course and really give students some real world experience in business processes. For us, there's a few things that are valuable about this partnership. First of all, we get a fresh set of eyes on our processes. We're always looking at improving them, and it's always our internal group most of the time looking at them. This gives a chance for students and external eyes, especially young that are familiar with technology, to potentially apply some new solutions that we may not have thought of. In addition to that, we also get the chance to meet some students. We're always looking at hiring and hiring locally in the Thunder Bay area. We're really happy that Lakehead reached out to us on this opportunity. We didn't even know this course was being held at the university, and we're always looking to review our processes and manage them. So this is a great fit for us.
We had absolutely no idea that Dr. Sanderson was at Lakehead University doing research on recruitment and retention in Northern Ontario. So we were very happy to be introduced to her and to have an opportunity to connect, get feedback on what she was doing, and provide her with information on the challenges we were facing. She's working in a field doing research directly related to human resources and directly related to our business.
Investing in science has always been important to Impala Canada, but investing in the science leadership of tomorrow is really important. So when Lakehead came to us and told us about Superior Science, a program that is hosted by students at Lakehead and offered to youth in the Thunder Bay community and surrounding Indigenous communities, it was a perfect fit. So this program engages kids in different programming, super fun activities, focuses around STEM. They did an extraordinary job this year with COVID, pivoting, because they just quite simply didn't want to lose an opportunity to continue to engage children in a science conversation and getting them excited about it. So we're thrilled to partner with them. It's been a few years and we're going to continue with it.
Superior Science relies heavy on philanthropy from various community partners. Without philanthropy, our projects and programs would simply not be able to run. This year, Superior Science is grateful to receive corporate donation from Impala Canada. When we first received this donation, we had many plans to reach as many low-income, at-risk, and Indigenous youth as possible within the region. This would be achieved through providing bursaries for youth to come to our summer camp and school year programs, as well as various outreach endeavors to reserves and communities with high Indigenous populations.
Well, the chair establishes a principal investigator for this project. In this case, this is Dr. Pete Hollings out of Lakehead, and he'll direct the research over a 5-year time frame. It really is a fantastic new project and will really synthesize a lot of the previous research and create an exciting path forward in the understanding of nickel, copper, PGE ore bodies in the region. Impala Canada is contributing $75,000 per year over a 5-year period for a total of $375,000 to the project. We're also actually going to provide substantial in-kind support for the research by allowing access to our database from nearly 30 years of mining production. And we're also giving actually full access to the extensive drill core library at the Lac des Îles mine site. This support builds on Lakehead's already established excellence in geological research and other disciplines, and it actually should unlock future research opportunities, attract high-quality faculty and students as well across multiple disciplines and departments. And really, though, it's really going to establish Lakehead as one of the preeminent academic institutions in the study of nickel, copper, PGE deposits.
Thank you, Lakehead University. Our future together looks really bright. We're so grateful at Impala Canada that you continue to find unique and interesting and collaborative programs and projects and opportunities for us to work together. We look forward to continuing to grow our relationship and looking forward to working together more in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. And I think, Impala's a really good example of how local companies can tap into the many diverse research and teaching activities we do at Lakehead. Certainly, things like human resources, economics, there's a wide scope of stuff. And I think you guys are showing the way in how we can do that. And hopefully some of the other people listening today will be inspired to come and have a chat with us and see how we can help you. I know I'm really excited to be the new NOHFC Industrial Research Chair in Mineral Exploration, and this could not have happened without Impala support. The team of students we're building at the moment, myself, we're really looking forward to working with you over the next 5 years to advance things in the region. So what we're going to try and do now for the rest of this session is run a Q&A speaker panel discussion. We have Erin Satterwhite and Dave Benson from Impala, Abraham Drost from Clean Air Metals, and Mike Michaud from Wesdome. They're all available for a question and answer session here. As I said at the beginning, if you have questions based on their presentations or anything in general about some of the ongoing activities, now's your chance to put them into the chat feature. And in the meantime, I'm going to hand over to Mark Tilbury, who will be standing by to ask the questions of our presenters. Over to you, Mark.
Hello, Pete, and good morning to everybody. I'd also like to echo some of the comments that I've heard this morning, and I wish that we were also in the basement of the Intercontinental having our regular breakfast, but I'm happy to beam in from the home office in Westport, Ontario, Canada, and happy to be moderating the Q&A this morning. The first question that we have is to our friends at Impala. And I'm just wondering, what does exploration look like for Impala Canada over the next few years?
Thanks, and good morning, everyone. I mean, the simple answer to it is actually the exploration outlook has never been more brighter at Impala Canada at Lac des Îles. When Implats purchased North American Palladium for $1 billion back in December 2019, not only were they getting a fantastic mineral inventory, but they were really getting fantastic potential, an unrealized potential. So one of the commitments that Implats through now Impala Canada has been making is in the development of this. And really in the exploration department, we've been challenged with doubling the mine life and also adding significant higher grade new resources. So we're looking at basically drill programs in the brownfields area of our mine, exploring the deeper parts of the footwall of our two main ore bodies, but also at depth. We're looking at 50,000 meters a year for the foreseeable future, for sure. As well, too, though, we also have some exciting new grassroots prospects that North American Palladium has been working on, and we'll be incrementally increasing the exploration moving forward.
Fantastic, Dave. Thank you so much.
The next question I have is for Abraham at Clean Air Metals. With the preliminary economic assessment out in Q2, I understand that this will be the first look at the deposit from a financial and mining engineering perspective. And I'm just wondering if you could comment on that.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, and good morning to everyone. Sure, the PEA comes on the heels of the new resource update, which we published on January the 20th. And we're looking forward to the PEA to really be the first sort of look at the sort of ramp access underground mining approach at the current Lake or now CL deposit on the Thunder Bay North property. So, and then the PEA will form the underpinning for future feasibility studies and so forth with respect to potential development and ultimately production at the Thunder Bay North project. So it is certainly a milestone for us. We're actively doing a brand new metallurgical studies on a mini bulk sample, which we retrieved in December. And we're doing that work with Blue Coast Research out in Victoria, and they deal with mineral deposits worldwide. So for the first time, we'll have bench scale metallurgical testing brought to bear with respect to potential project economics. So we're very much looking forward to that.
Well, I'm sure we're all fingers crossed for very positive results in the PEA. The next question that I have is for Michael at Wesdome. Now that you've sold the Moss Lake property, what other plans do you have for exploration in Northwestern Ontario?
Thanks, Mark, and good morning, everyone. Our exploration for this year is probably the largest in the company's history. Over the past couple of years at the Eagle River Mine, we've been rewarded with good exploration. That's underground exploration, and only just starting the surface exploration, we've been able to double the resource base at Eagle River, and we've actually been able to almost double production. So we know that the best ounces, the cheapest ounces, easiest ounces to find are right around our mine. So this year we're investing $16 million in exploration, $6 million underground, an additional $10 million on surface, and really starting to expand our horizons and look in the surrounding volcanic rocks. Previously, all the gold was thought to be in a mine diorite, a hard unit of rock where gold likes to concentrate. And now we're looking at the surrounding volcanics. We've found one zone already, the Falcon Zone, which will be in production next year. And now we're starting to look for other things. And really where we're trying to get to is a point where we can say we have enough resources on the books to warrant additional capital investment. So maybe that means a mill size increase, or maybe the deepening of the shaft, different things. So we're pushing hard there. We've been successful, and this is why we really need some help on the exploration side. We're in sort of a new environment for us now, and we need to better understand the geology there so we can better target our drilling.
I'm sure we'll all be watching the developments eagerly over the next couple of years, Michael. I'm going to go back to Impala now, and here's the question for you. Has COVID-19 changed how or who Impala Canada supports in the Thunder Bay community?
I'll take that. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Pete, also for earlier today. Listen, we've been talking today a lot about investment with exploration, which is extraordinarily important, obviously, for all of our mining companies. And at Impala Canada, we also believe that investment in the community is really important. We've been doing that for years, but also now with the switch into COVID, it's put a bit of a new lens on how we invest in the community. So there's sort of three parts to it. One, when COVID first hit, we looked at the very urgent, pressing need within the community and determined ways that we could help support that and address that. Second, we looked at our existing investments. For example, Superior Science, you saw that in the video there. We wanted to make sure they were going to continue to be able to deliver what they were doing, but we wanted to help understand how they were pivoting, what they were offering to the community and the students. And they were. And there were a number of other programs across Thunder Bay that were doing the same. So one of the ways we tried to help them was we used our social media channels to leverage the stories and what they were doing, because in times like COVID, a lot of people weren't able to provide funding. We wanted to provide that awareness of those programs so other additional funders could step forward. And then, moving forward, We're looking at the new landscape within Thunder Bay. I mean, right now there's an emergency awareness that's going on in Thunder Bay, and there's food security challenges. So we're looking at how do we support our existing partners, ensuring that they can continue to deliver all the programs, including the ones we're supporting at Lakehead, and also moving forward, how can we support the community to ensure its long-term sustainability and support the new challenges it faces because of COVID. So what it's done is it's changed how we gave, but it hasn't reduced it. We've actually just looked at doubling down. How do we continue to do existing support and future support and make it make sense to our business and the community?
Thank you so much, Erin, and thank you to Impala for your corporate and your social leadership, especially on an important issue like COVID-19. And we know how much it has affected the entire world, but especially Thunder Bay right now.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'm going to go back to Abraham at Clean Air Metals. And Abraham, I'm just wondering if you can tell us more about Clean Air Metals Indigenous partnerships.
Yes, I'd be happy to. Thanks very much, Mark. And I was pleased to hear that Chief Peter Hollings is on the call this morning, and also was pleased to hear that our Mayor Bill Morrow was here. And you know, I've known Bill for some time, and certainly in his past tenure as the Minister of Natural Resources for Ontario. And I think that's really important for the region. We're extremely proud to be based here in Thunder Bay. Clean Air Metals has some of the highest platinum, palladium, copper, nickel assets in its peer group worldwide. And here we are right in Thunder Bay, and the project's 30 minutes north of us. And so we're very proud as well that, you know, Canada acknowledges, or at least constitutionally protects, Aboriginal and treaty rights. And the Thunder Bay North project is on the traditional territories of the Fort William First Nation, the Red Rock Indian Band, and the Vinjitawabik Zaging Anishinaabeg. And we're very proud that we partnered with these three communities, which was announced on January the 11th, a memorandum of agreement to work together for the design of the project, Thunder Bay North project, going forward. We're also very pleased that these three communities have a vital sort of youth and young adult population that are the future tradespeople, geologists, and engineers of tomorrow. And that's really important for all of us on the panel today with respect to our future HR needs, human resources, and so forth. So really looking forward to developing on that as well. So we look forward to working with these communities together, and very pleased with our early progress in this regard. Thank you.
I think it's just another great example of partnering towards discovery. Definitely the theme for today and for our presentation. We'll go back to Michael for a question. And Michael, you may have touched on this a little bit in your previous answer, but how do you see production in the coming years at the Eagle River Mine?
We certainly see production increasing. You know, the way production was over the last number of years was split between a lower grade open pit and a high grade underground. And now that the pit reserves are essentially exhausted, we're focusing on the underground and ramping up that tonnage rate to get over 100,000 ounces a year from our Eagle River Mine. And, you know, part of that increase, it's not just finding more gold, it's certainly just come from some very fundamental improvements at the mine related to infrastructure, better camp, you know, better electrical, better Wi-Fi. It's all these things. You know, we instituted a drug and alcohol policy at the mine that was never in place before. All of that makes for, you know, a more engaged workforce, and that certainly has increased our production rate as well. Not just finding the ore, but actually having the team to do it. So I think we're quite proud of where we've come from over the few short years that the new management's been in place. And really, like I said, we're just trying to get enough resource base so that we can possibly improve the size of the operation. Which refer to it as the little engine that could. I mean, this mine's been around for 25 years. Maybe, you know, I think everybody's heard of it, but maybe knows the details of it. But it's a very high grade underground mine. And we have another project that we're working on in Quebec Kena mine, we're going to be bringing into production later this year. And the Eagle mine has produced enough profits to pay for the opening of that mine. So we're pretty happy with that, and we're going to continue to push the production, but it's allowed us to do a lot of other things that we weren't really able to do in the past. So yeah, we're happy where we come from, and we're going to continue to ramp up production over time.
Fantastic, Michael. Thanks for bringing us up to date on that. I've got another question for Dave and Aaron at Impala. You mentioned increased exploration in high-grade sites. Is that the Sunday Lake exploration, and what are your plans there over the next few years?
Yeah, I'll take that one. That wasn't specifically the Sunday Lake site. I mean, anyone who's followed the Sunday Lake story from back, that really started back in 2015. There was some substantial drill intersect, high-grade drill intersects that have been made there. Specifically, what I was talking about earlier, though, was actually in the brownfields section of the Lac des Îles operations. The Sunday Lake, we consider that sort of a grassroots stage. And currently, we're actually in discussion with our joint venture partners on the correct path forward.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dave. That appears to be the end of the questions. So I'm going to throw it back to our MC, Dr. Pete Hollings, and over to you, Pete.
Thanks, Mark. Excellent job as usual. We tag team these things well. Thank you to all our speakers, their presentations this morning, and thank you all for your time in the Q&A. We certainly really appreciate it. I know putting those videos together was a big effort, and we certainly really appreciate you helping us out in that way. As many of you who have been to these events before, we like to finish up these breakfast events with showing you the Lakehead University 2020 or latest Lakehead University report to the community. We have a video again this year, and this one's for 2020, and I would very much like to share it with you right now.
Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the song without the words and never stops at all. Whether we live in the town we grew up in or have ventured far away, there are times when we are tested, times when we are challenged. And when that happens, we turn to hope to help sustain us. It reveals who we truly are and who we aspire to be. It gives us the strength to face down our fears, to embrace the difficult, to search for solutions, and open our hearts. Lakehead University is a community where hope runs deep, because our students, alumni, researchers, and supporters are committed to looking beyond ourselves, to offering the best of ourselves. Our campuses are in Orillia and Thunder Bay, but our students and alumni are everywhere. And we are all in this together, no matter who we are or where we are. Our hope burns strong, because there are truths we know with certainty. Hard times will pass. Darkness will lift, and the sun will shine again.
So that concludes our presentation this morning. Thank you all for joining us. We really do appreciate your continued support for SESME and for Lakehead. We hope you enjoyed the presentations. Hopefully next year we'll be back in Toronto celebrating over a great breakfast and all the networking opportunities that brings. In the meantime, thank you so much for staying in. We're really excited here at Lakehead to be moving forward with our partnerships. We hope that some of you may be inspired to chat with us about things we can do for you and your organizations. Please feel free to reach out to myself or any of the Lakehead team. We'd be really happy to talk to you. This event has been recorded, as we said. We'll get it up on the SESME website in the next few days, and we'll also send you a link to where it is so you can have a look, along with our impact report for SESME as well. And with that, please stay safe, be well, and hopefully we'll see you all next year. Take care.